So I have this question from Chris76XX on YouTube, and it's a fantastic question, so I'm going to share it with you here. James, why do some people react to suggestions like forgetting name and numbers, and others don't even do so when in trance? What reasons are there for people not accepting suggestions? This is a fantastic question, so I want to say thank you, Chris, for sending this in. The first thing that comes up for me here is that there are a lot of variables to this. There are a lot of variables, and this is one of the things that makes hypnosis an art, if you like, that's based upon understanding what those variables are. A lot of people teach hypnosis as a set of recipes, that if you follow the recipe, it works, but it doesn't. And Chris, who's asked this question, knows this. Some people respond to suggestions like forgetting names and numbers, and others don't, even when in trance. Now, what I'm going to talk about here are some of the variables. Obviously, this is a quick YouTube video, so I can't go into every single little aspect and every single little nuance, but there are variables. Now, I want to say, before I say anything about the variables, in the question, Chris is asking, why is it that some people don't respond even when they are in trance? Well, here's the thing, and I talked about this in the last video I discussed hypnosis on YouTube. Trance isn't a thing, in that there is a thing called trance and everything else is not. There is only ever the trance that you are in, and we are always in one trance or another. You're in a trance watching this video, a particular kind of trance where your mind is wrapped around a particular set of ideas and you're paying attention in a particular way. This is something that's important to understand, because when we're doing hypnosis, it is the shifting of trances. From the trance somebody's in to the trance you wish them to be in. So a person is always in a trance. So if they are in what you might call a hypnotic trance, but they are not experiencing, say, number amnesia, that's because they are not in a number amnesia trance. They're in some other kind of trance. So this is the first thing to be aware of. When doing hypnosis with somebody, we always want to be paying attention to where they are at and where it is that we want to take them. And this is the art form. This is where the skill of hypnosis lies. So what are some of the variables? What are some of the things that might stop people accepting suggestions and shifting their trance and shifting into the experience that you want to shift them into? Well, there are a number of things. One of the most basic is buy-in. Somebody doesn't have buy-in for the process. They have all the cognitive faculties they need to create the experience they want, but they're not buying into something about it. They're like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't really believe this is for real. I don't really believe this person really is a hypnotist. I don't like this person. That could be another factor. And that isn't always a deal breaker, by the way. It just can be a deal breaker. So there's all number of variables that stop people from buying in and fully engaging. Because here's the thing, when you do hypnosis formally with somebody, it is an invitation to them to engage their cognitive faculties in a particular way. Okay, and if they are not going to engage their cognitive faculties in that particular way, for any number of reasons, they don't like you, they don't believe in the process, they don't believe in hypnosis, you don't seem convincing, it doesn't seem plausible, any number of those things, they're not going to engage their cognitive faculties in that particular way. So that's one major variable, the variable of buy-in. Now I will say this, when I'm doing change work with people, client work, I have far fewer issues of buy-in than if I'm out doing street hypnosis. And there's an obvious reason for this. When somebody comes in for self-change, number one, I elicit stuff which is deeply personally meaningful to them. And people cannot not buy in to what is deeply personally meaningful for them. They've just told me it's deeply personally meaningful. I'm using that so I get an engagement with that. Number two, they're there for a very profound reason, a very serious, a very real reason. They want to affect a change in their life, something that's been troubling them deeply and they want to change it. They have a lot of motivation, a lot of buy-in. So I'm not going to encounter the same kind of issues I might do if I'm just bounding up to somebody in a street hypnosis scenario and saying, hey, have you ever been hypnotized before? Look at me, close your eyes, sleep, right? Different level of personal meaningfulness. So if I'm out doing street hypnosis, I might want to start looking at how I can take my time, a little bit of time, to build a bit of a relationship with them, so they get a sense that I'm a pretty grounded person. They're going to buy in to me, to what I have to say, because I seem like a pretty grounded person. I look like I believe my own reality, at least. All of these things. And I might then say to them, do you know what? We're going to do a little something here, and it's mostly for fun and curiosity and interest. But if there was something that you could get from this that will make a massive difference to you, a personal shift in your life, without having to get into anything particularly deep, what might that be? You know, if there were one suggestion your unconscious mind could take and make real for you, what might that be? Now, this is just giving somebody a little bit of a personal hook. I'm talking about doing a street hypnosis session here. I'm not talking about getting into deep therapy out there, but just, you know, the offer of a hypnotic gift that is deeply personally meaningful will assist people with buy-in. Now, going beyond buy-in, there are also other things that can stop people engaging their cognitive faculties in an appropriate way. And some of those things might be misconceptions about hypnosis. So hypnosis, formal hypnosis, is a proactive process. If somebody is experiencing their hand stuck, it is because their mind is creating their hand stuck. It needs to be proactively engaged in that creation, even though part of what they're creating is the experience of non-volition, the fact that they're not doing it. But that doesn't mean that they're not proactively, that their neurocognitive faculties are not proactively engaged. So they need to be proactively engaged. And one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have is I don't need to be, whatever state I'm in, this thing will happen to me. So they're too disengaged. They're not proactively engaged. They're not engaging their imagination, and they haven't got the anticipation factor in place. These are two things that are important when you're eliciting hypnotic phenomena. Imagination engaged and anticipation fully switched on, so it's going to happen. They're there. When's it going to happen? They're there. Eager for the thing to happen to happen. So these are important things in there as well. So it might be that you need to do a little bit of coaching or a few suggestions that engage imagination and engage that anticipation. So simple things that you can do simply are to say, I'm going to ask you to imagine a few things. And when you imagine these things, your mind is going to create some interesting shifts for you. Are you up for doing that? Right? So you say, I'm going to ask you to imagine some things. You make it clear imagination is involved. Another thing you might do is just throw in the suggestion, are you ready? So I'm going to ask you to imagine some things, and when you do, your mind is going to make some shifts that create some different kinds of engagements and different kinds of experiences for you. Are you up for that? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. And then you build a sense of anticipation into yourself, into your moments. So you want to be like, is it about to happen now? Are we ready? Are we ready? And you want to get them. Am I ready? And there's sort of anticipation around it and an imaginative engagement. So you want to sort of coach this out of them or suggest this into them somehow, and this will assist as well. Now there's another variable that goes beyond this, which is the person in question. To what degree are they, I sometimes use this distinction of experiencers versus reality testers. Some people dive fully into an experience, it's just part of the way they do life. Other people hang back from it, creating a psychological distance, going, well, you know, is this really so? And they're testing about, you know, what is or isn't so in the moment and all of this. And some people have these two styles. Their more default style will be experiencer or reality tester. The experiencer is easier to work with. The reality tester is going to want to create distance, create wait and see. We don't want a wait and see attitude when somebody is doing hypnosis, engaging in hypnosis. We want them in a proactive create and anticipate. So we want create and anticipate, not wait and see. So this is an important thing. Some people's cognitive styles are more naturally geared towards hypnotic absorption and creation, and other people's are not. They're more about dissociation and analysis and this kind of thing. So it's not a deal breaker if somebody's a wait and see kind of person. It just puts more onus on you to pay attention to this and coach them in the kind of engagement that you want to see. So it's not necessarily a deal breaker. Other things are to do with Some people are just more readily willing to absorb themselves in certain imaginative experiences, or more capable than others. Some people are more practiced in, say, visual imagination, or more practiced in, say, kinesthetic imagination, or more practiced in auditory imagination. So some people can visualize very easily, some people can feel things very easily, other people not so much so. So if you're paying attention to where people's strengths and weaknesses are in terms of cognitive style, and you're able to adapt your suggestions, and I'll put a link to a video where I do this, where you'll see me fail to get a suggestion for name amnesia several times, and then I adapt the suggestion to the person's cognitive style and get the name amnesia. I'll place a link to the video here where you can see that happening. So, you know, a person's individual cognitive style isn't like a make or break, but some people do have cognitive styles that are more readily willing and able to create the kind of experiences you want to help them create with hypnosis. Okay, so those are a few of the variables. I'm going to say right now that if you are coming on the Hypnosis Without Trance 2.0, the precision elicitation of hypnotic phenomena training in Edinburgh, UK, on the 4th and 5th of March 2017. If you're already booked onto that, you are going to be learning a lot about this. You're going to be learning a lot about what you can do to tip the odds in your favor of hypnotic phenomena coming about. There's a lot you can do. So we're going to be going deeper into some of these variables that I've already shared here, but going beyond that, there are other variables as well. And this is what the art of hypnosis is all about. Being aware of the differences that you can make that will make differences in terms of your subject or your client's capacity to hypnotically engage. This is the nature of the art form, and this is what the Hypnosis Without Trance 2.0 training is all about. We use classic hypnotic phenomena as the vehicle for learning these skills, but of course they are equally applicable to doing change work, making shifts in people's lives. So if you've already booked on Hypnosis Without Trance 2.0, the precision elicitation of hypnotic phenomena, looking forward to seeing you there. As I say, it's the 4th and 5th. If you've not yet booked on this and you think, you know what, I really would like to do this. I'd really like to learn more about these variables and how to work with these variables and increase the odds of getting these hypnotic experiences happening. There's still an opportunity to book, and while I'm putting this video out today, there's still a few days left on the phenomenal early discount deal. Last thing I'll say about this is in Edinburgh, in Scotland, in the UK, which is a phenomenal city. It's an international city, incredible transport links. Already people who have booked on, they're coming in from all over Europe. It's a very easy place to get to. It's a wonderful place to experience beyond the training. So if you're thinking about coming, now will be a good time to book on, because this early discount opportunity is not going to be available for very much longer. Okay, once again, thanks to Chris for asking this question. If you have questions about hypnosis, please do ask them. If you've got something of value from this video, please like the video, give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel for more opportunities to ask questions and get information that's going to help you become a better hypnotist.